Yo.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you one thing about nostalgia. One thing about nostalgia, this party here. My real friends are definitely in the building. But I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna come to a point in life where people you thought were friends, or people you thought were close to you, they might switch up, they might try and move funny with you, they might stab you in the back, they might do a lot of things to you. You'll come to that realization, wherever you're at in life, you've probably been there and you'll be there again. That's how life is. But look, sometimes it's you and you alone by yourself. Sometimes it's you alone with your thoughts. Sometimes, you know what? Play the song, don't worry.
Okay, so you guys sent in a ton of stuff on Drake about his, well, let's just say it, his comments about the not so loyal people in his life.
Yeah, and it's interesting, right? Because on the surface, it seems like standard rapper stuff, but when you really dig into it, like we did, it gets, well, kind of deep.
It does, like
Yeah.
way deeper than we thought. And it all starts at this nightclub in Toronto.
Nostalgia night, right?
Yeah, nostalgia night, hometown crowd, Drake's on stage. You'd think good vibes only. But then he goes on this whole rant about fake friends.
And it's not just what he's saying, it's how he's saying it. You know, it's like raw, vulnerable.
Totally. Like when he says switch up, stab you in the back, even you and you alone by yourself. It's harsh, man. Like he's hurting.
And that's what makes me think this isn't just some off-the-cuff thing. Something happened, something that really got to him.
And it's got everyone speculating, especially with the whole Kendrick Lamar thing going on, which, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know, that's like the biggest hip-hop rivalry out there right now. It's huge. And when you reach that level of fame, there's always going to be drama. Loyalties get tested, lines get blurred.
Yeah, and it's not just them.
Yeah.
Everyone is picking sides, like LeBron James, DeMar DeRozan.
Oh yeah, big names getting pulled in.
Exactly, and it adds fuel to the fire. Like when DeRozan was on stage at a Kendrick concert, and they do a Drake diss track. I mean,
Nah.
come on.
That's not an accident, it's a statement.
Totally. And it shows you how much weight these alliances hold. Like, it's more than music, you know? It's deeper than that.
Way dipper.
So we have to look at the bigger picture here. This fake friends thing, it's not new for Drake. It's like a constant theme in his music.
A self-fulfilling prophecy almost. Right, like he puts it out there with no new friends. And then...
And that happens. But it makes you wonder, how much of this is on him?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's like, is he attracting this kind of energy? Or is he just unlucky?
$1 million question right there.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's an easy answer, but we do have to consider the environment he's in. The music industry is brutal, especially when you get to his level.
You're surrounded by yes men. Everyone wants something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And how do you know who's being genuine? How do you find real friends in that world? I mean, that's got to mess with your head, you
It's
know?
like the loneliest place in the world, even when you're surrounded by people.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes this whole thing with Drake so interesting. He's got all the fame, all the success, but he's still searching for something real.
And he's not the only one.
Not even close.
It's like he's living his lyrics, you know? No new friends, then bam, this whole thing goes down.
And you know, it's interesting, this theme of betrayal, it's not just in his recent stuff. It goes way back, like way back.
So this isn't just about Kendrick then?
I don't think so. I mean, it's definitely a factor, right? But this seems much deeper, more like a pattern.
Okay, so then what's causing it? Is it Drake? Or is it, like you said before, the industry?
I think, honestly, it's probably a bit of both. You can't discount the environment. The music industry chews people up and spits them out.
Yeah, and fame. Fame changes people.
Like this weird magnet, right? It attracts a certain type of person.
Right.
And not always for the right reasons.
Totally. But then there's Drake, and this is in the Tuco article, by the way. Backstabbed so many times, I start to walk backwards.
Wow. Yeah, that telling.
Right, and it's kind of sad. Because it's like, he expects it. Like, it's inevitable.
That's the thing about betrayal. It does something to you.
Yeah.
Makes you question everything.
Makes you question everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what gets me is, even with all that baggage, he still craves real connection.
You can hear it in his music.
Absolutely. And that's the paradox, right?
Yeah.
The guy who's literally singing no new friends. He's the one searching for it the most.
And then you have the music he plays after the rant.
Oh, yeah. Interesting choices.
Beyonce's Me, Myself, and I talk about an anthem.
It's like a declaration, right? He's done with the games, done with relying on other people.
But then he follows it up with 50 Cent's Many Men. Now that's a completely different vibe.
Total paranoia. I mean, talk about sending mixed messages. What do you think that was about?
Well, it's Drake, the master of keeping us guessing, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe it's not that complicated. Maybe he's just processing. Like he's hurt, he's angry, and he's trying to figure it all out.
And what better way to do that than through music, right?
Yeah.
It's his outlet. It's always been how he expresses himself.
Totally. So maybe by putting it all out there, the hurt, the anger, the confusion, maybe it's his way of trying to break the cycle.
Makes you wonder if he'll ever truly escape it, though. That cycle of fame, betrayal, and searching for something real. I mean, can you really have it all?
That's the question, isn't it? And it's not just for Drake, it's for all of us. Is it possible to have fame, fortune, and real connection, or are those things just incompatible?
Deep stuff, man.
Deep stuff. But isn't that why we're here? To dive into these big questions.
Exactly. And this Drake situation, it's like a crash course in the human condition.
Fame, loyalty, betrayal, it's all there. And it's something we all deal with on some level.
Just, usually not with millions of people watching.
Not quite, no. It's kind of wild, right? Like this whole thing with Drake, it makes you think about your own life. Like, what would you do if you were in his shoes?
It's the double-edged sword of success, isn't it? You achieve your dreams, but suddenly the stakes are higher. The betrayals cut deeper.
And it makes you wonder, is it even possible to have it all? The fame, the fortune, the genuine connections? Or do you have to choose?
That's the question a lot of people grapple with, even without the fame and fortune. It's a fundamental human need, wanting to be surrounded by people who get you, who you can trust.
Absolutely. And it makes you appreciate those people in your life, the ones who've been there through thick and thin.
100%. Those relationships are priceless.
They really are. Well, on that note, I think we've done a pretty deep dive on Drake, fake friends, and everything in between.
We covered a lot of ground.
We did. From diss tracks to Instagram unfollowing, we went there. But hey, that's what you guys tuned in for, right? To unpack this whole thing with Drake and maybe, just maybe, learn a little something about ourselves along the way. So until next time, keep it real out there, keep those requests coming, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Baby. Have mercy on me. What's the one in there right there? Go ahead, go ahead.